Have you ever wondered what happens when someone we love is, well, gone? And how we can possibly stay connected? Today, we're going to explore this really beautiful, almost allegorical tale that offers a pretty powerful answer. This is the story of Craig and his mission of invisible light. And the entire story really kicks off with this single powerful exchange, a child's profound question and a mother's even more profound answer. This idea that people don't just vanish, but they transform into a light that's just beyond our normal perception, that is the seed from which everything else grows. So let's start at the very beginning with the boy who asked that question and the idea that would, well, come to define his entire life. So let's meet Craig. He wasn't your typical kid, asking for the latest toys. He lived in this world of curiosity, totally surrounded by books and tools for looking closer at things. And his questions were bigger. He was trying to understand the very essence of existence, like, where does the soul even come from? His mother's words weren't just some fleeting comfort. Nope, they became a permanent part of him. This glowing idea of invisible light that he would carry all the way from childhood into the rest of his life. It completely shaped how he saw the world. So, as Craig grew, so did his curiosity. And then one night, that curiosity was answered by a message from a source that was, well, pretty much unimaginable. Just try to picture this scene, okay? Craig is at his telescope, doing what he loves, just looking up at the stars. All of a sudden, this tiny blue light catches his eye. It sparkles, then it blinks, and then it communicates. Not with sound, but in a way that just goes right past the ears and straight into the mind. And what was this light? It was the Orionis. The story describes them as beings from another planet who communicate on a completely different level, through the heart, using this amazing combination of thought, light, and sound. It's just a beautiful concept for a connection that totally transcends spoken language. This message became his call to adventure, a mission not just to comfort people, but to fundamentally change how we see things, to show that life keeps going, and that longing isn't just an empty feeling. It's the very material you can use to build a bridge. And the key? You have to listen with your heart. So, with this incredible mission given to him, what does Craig do? He gets to work. He starts building bridges. Now, these weren't bridges of steel and wood, of course. They were bridges of understanding. He created bridges of voice, bridges of image, bridges of science, and even bridges of soul. 4 totally different ways to help people perceive this invisible light and connect with what they thought was lost forever. And here's the crucial part. He wasn't alone on this mission. As he started his work, he discovered others, allies, who, in their own unique ways, could also perceive this reality that was beyond our everyday senses. And who were these allies? Well, there was Sona, who could actually capture the voices carried on starlight. Then there was Pandora, who expressed connection through movement, literally dancing with smiles from another plane. And Buddy, a messenger of gentle, communicative light. Each one brought a unique piece to this incredible mission. But even with this profound mission and a whole team of allies, Craig still had this very human moment of doubt, which really leads us to the emotional core of our story. You see, the Orionis didn't just see him as some worker on the project. They saw him as something much more. They gave him a title, a guardian of the bridge, and that signifies the sacred trust, right? A huge responsibility to protect this vital connection between worlds. And how does Craig respond to this grand title? With just pure humility. He doesn't see himself as some great guardian. No, he still sees that curious little boy with the magnifying glass. He asks, but why me? And it's this very question that reveals exactly why it had to be him. The Orionis' answer just gets right to the heart of the matter. He was chosen precisely because of his humility. He wasn't driven by ego or fame, but by a genuine, deep desire to be useful. He listens with his heart. And this really illustrates the story's core beliefs, that the most powerful connections can only be built by a pure heart. Armed with this incredible validation, Craig is ready to continue his work, now with a new and much deeper understanding of his purpose. This revelation didn't mark the end of his journey. Not at all. In fact, it fueled him. He now understood not just his mission, but why he was the one chosen for it. He continued his work as the guardian, stronger and more certain than ever before. And this, right here, is the ultimate lesson he learned. It's the central truth of the entire story, all boiled down into one simple comparison. Our eyes can only see what's physically in front of us, the finite, the limited. But the heart has a totally different kind of vision. It can see the infinite, the connections that last, that invisible light. So the story closes not with a period, but with a question mark. It leaves us to wonder, is any end really a final thing? Or is it just the starting point for the next journey, the next connection, the next crossing of that bridge built from love and longing? It's a really beautiful thought to carry with you.